So listen to these notes: cake, milk, butter, vanilla absolute. This sounds like it's going to be the ultimate gourmand fragrance by Chanceaux. This is a brand based out of San Francisco, California. This one is called Vanilla Matrimony. I'm going to give you my thoughts on this fragrance in just a little bit, so make sure to stay tuned. Before I begin today's episode and I tell you about this gourmand fragrance with butter and milk and vanilla and cake and all of these delicious ingredients, I want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance related content, and of course if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So, of course, with the colder weather being right around the corner, summer it's coming to its end, we are expecting to take out some of our smokes and our resins, our balsams, our gourmands, our this, or that. This is a fragrance that is sweet leaning. It has a lactonic quality, a butyric quality, which means that it has milk and butter respectively. Of course, it doesn't have actual butter in here, but it does give off a vibe that is similar to it. And it puts you in the mindset of being in a really high-end bakery, and it just smells like a dessert. Of course, with a name like Vanilla Matrimony, it is expected that this is going to be a sweet gourmand perfume. Nevertheless, I'm going to talk to you all about the smell in just a second. Let's take a quick look at the presentation first. So right in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get this gourmand explosion. You are going to get the vanilla absolute. It is quite sweet. You are going to get the vanilla right away, but I also get that butyric vibe, aka the butter. So initially, it might put you in the mindset of like butter popcorn. And it's interesting because there's a lot of perfumes doing that nowadays. There's What About Pop by the House of Oud. There's also Caramel Pop by Vivamore Parfum. So there are a lot of brands out there that are putting out these sort of buttery, gourmand, experimental fragrances. And I love the fact that this fragrance is doing that as well. It does open up rather sweet and rather even caramelized. There's no caramel listed in the note breakdown, but that vanilla that is in there is creating that sweet, dulcet harmony along which everything else kind of gels and melts. So this is a beautiful gourmand, right? The cake, it just kind of, it's more of a fantasy accord, if you will. The vanilla, the milky notes, the buttery notes, it kind of puts you in the mindset of a cake being baked or something like that. But ultimately, this is a sweet gourmand fragrance, and I think this is the type of scent that you're gonna wear to scratch that proverbial sweet itch. So if you are a fan of sweet perfumes, if you love your gourmands and you haven't tried Vanilla Matrimony by Chanceaux, I think you really ought to get your nose on this one because it is one of the better gourmands out there, especially when it comes to uniqueness. I think if we're talking about vanilla alone, there's so many vanilla-based perfumes on the market. If you're talking about caramel or toffee alone, there are many perfumes with a caramel note or accord, but this one kind of combining everything gives you this really unique gourmand expression, and this is one that I would totally recommend. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is a unique gourmand fragrance. The butter, the milk, the cake, the vanilla, it's a really well done gourmand expression. Longevity on this one is about 8 hours on skin. Projection was really good for the first hour of application. It radiated at about an arm's length. And I would say it became an elbow's length scent right around hour 5.5 or 6. A skin scent right around hour 8. In terms of the versatility, perfectly unisex. I think you can dress this one up or down. I can see somebody enjoying this casually just because you're craving something sweet, but I think it's also different enough and it'll make you stand out, so I can see somebody wearing this in a formal scenario as well, especially a formal scenario that is not too serious, something a bit more happy-go-lucky or a bit more on the jubilant side of things. I think this one might appeal to a younger demographic for the sweetness alone, and I would prioritize wearing this one in the colder months of the year. Presentation on this one, I think the presentation is actually really nice. Just a label here on the front. The bottle is actually pretty heavy. If you own it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Drawer style presentation on the box. Very simple, no ingredient information, no UPC. It does kind of have an indie feel, but the bottle is really, really nice. My final verdict on this fragrance is it is a gorgeous, unique, gourmand fragrance. If you like vanilla and butter and cake, try it. Vanilla Matrimony by Chanceaux. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you took something of value from today's episode. And of course, if you did, please do consider supporting the channel by clicking subscribe, hitting the bell, and giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you again so much for joining me. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.